It's that time again! Hey guys, it's LJ here. Welcome back to another video. Unfortunately, I lost the sound for this clip, which is a real shame because I was so excited. Basically, it's sunny again, which means two things. It means that I get to play with resin because it's Friday, and it means that I get to play with a beach-themed piece. So I have this amazing mould. I am madly in love with this. I think it is absolutely stunning. And basically, I can't just wait to turn it into an ocean piece. So I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it yet. As I was planning and getting all my things out, an idea came to me. So I hope you enjoy what I do. And yeah, let me know what you think. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this resin because it's a really good example of what happens when you add resin together. So when you mix the resin and the hardener, it is very cloudy and it's kind of got strings in it. And as you mix, it will become clearer and clearer and those strings will disappear. Once your resin is clear, if you've scraped the sides of the cup, you've scraped the bottom, if there's no more strings, that's when you know your resin is fully mixed. Depending on the temperature of the room, the type of resin you're using, various other things, this could take up to 8 minutes. You need to mix slowly. The quicker you mix, the more likely you are to incorporate bubbles as well. So I was able to get a completely bubble-free cup of resin by mixing this very slowly and continually until I had incorporated all of the bits and pieces. I did also get hair in there, which was rather annoying. But anyway, now that that is done, we can start adding our colours. Over to the left, I have got some sand already in a cup. And I always, without fail, put too much resin into my sand. And I end up with wet sand and a layer of clear resin over the top. But not today. Today, I somehow managed to add the correct amount of resin into the sand and I was so pleased with myself. So I've poured out 4 cups, I think I do in the end, of resin to add colour to, and then I've just put some resin into the sand and mixed it through. You want it to be damp, you don't want it to be wet. And then I'm using these beautiful colours to turn blues and greens. I thought we would do a more sort of tropical sea, so definitely adding some green into it. So each colour I am just making a slight bit darker. This is the first time I'd used these colours, so I wasn't sure how many drops I wanted, and it's always better to be lighter because you can add more, you can't really take away. So yeah, these 4 colours. So I've got a sort of darker blue, a lighter blue, a greeny blue, and then a green, and they are just, oh, they make me want to go on holiday when I see these colours together. I did save a little bit of the clear resin as well in case I needed any more of one particular colour. In the end, I didn't need it. So what I decided to do was actually to make all of the appendages little beaches and have, say, a lake style cove sea in the centre. So the head, the arms and the legs, I just popped the sand in, smoothed it over. It will settle as it relaxes, same as resin does. So I've done dark blue in the middle, then a lighter blue, and then the greens. And oh man, I just want to go swimming in this water. Yes, that blue and green mix is gorgeous. So as you can see, I've just done rings around, the darkest in the middle going further out. I then hit it with my heat torch to pop any bubbles. And I'm just smoothing out the last of that sand into each of the spaces. Now, resin, as I mentioned at the start, is temperamental when it comes to temperature. And I made this over the Maybank holiday, where in the UK we had the hottest days of the year. And resin likes heat to a point. It definitely doesn't like the cold, but it was too hot for resin. You'll see what I mean at the end. So I have left this for about an hour, so the resin is starting to harden, and I am just selecting where on the beaches I'm going to put my shells, my starfish and my little bits of seaweed, which is just coloured moss. It's like moss you get for making miniatures and things like that. Just dyed different colours, which I came in a Sophie and Toffee box. So yeah, I've just got some small shells that I got from Resin 8. I've got the sand that I got from Resin 8 and the starfish I got from Amazon. And I've just kind of stuck them onto each beach, giving each beach a different number of things. I popped the seaweed in amongst the water. And then I can leave this to cure. And normally I would say 24 hours. But because it was so hot, I was able to come back maybe 8 hours after I'd poured it. So this was 1 hour after. And then I came back 8 hours after to do the waves on top. So yeah, left it for 8 hours. And now it's time to do it. The resin is hard, as you can see. I just put a tiny bit of resin over the tops of the shells and any starfish that was sticking out, just to really, really secure them in. Just in case it ever gets bumped and they decide to fall out, I thought I'll put a little bit of resin over the top just to secure them in and to make them shiny. Looks like they're wet on a beach. Then I poured the resin. I had left this a little while to thicken up. As you can see, it's not spreading everywhere. So I've poured it in the centre and I'm going to do the sort of waves around the edges. But, and heed my warning, it had been about a year since I'd done any beach pieces. And I had not done the waves correctly. The first thing you need to do, this Resin 8 opaque white is amazing. Mix it with a tiny bit of resin, it works a lot better. And also, less is more. I start off really, really well. I put a little bit up in this corner, blow it over the resin straight away with my heat gun. Looks great. I do down the bottom, this corner. Again, blow it straight away on top of the resin and you get the beautiful lacing, you get the cells. Same with this little corner. Put a little bit on, blew it straight away with the heat gun. And then I got cocky. Then I thought, well, I know what I'm doing. I can do the side and the top at the same time. Yeah. So it didn't look how I wanted it to look. So I put more white on. And then I blew it again with a heat gun. And I blew it again and I blew it again and I blew it again. And I could not, I loved the bottom. I could not get the top to look any good at all. After about 10 minutes, I ended up scraping off most of the white at the top, as you can see. So I'm literally just scraping out the white bits. I was trying to blow it as I was doing it to avoid having to redo the whole thing. But it was just, there was too much white in there, so it wasn't making the cells and the lacing. It had just taken over the clear resin. Right. So yeah, I scraped it all off. I'm not going to show you me scraping the entirety off, but yeah, I scraped it all off. Mixed up a new batch of resin. And basically started again at the top. This stuff is powerful. I mean, I put the tiniest amount into that resin and it still managed to overtake the entire top of this piece. So please just be wary and consider going slower when you're doing things like this. The Resin 8 opaque white is perfect for waves. It is perfect. But a little bit goes a long way and I had totally forgotten quite how effective it was. So anyway, I scraped off the top. As you can see, there's nothing white left there. I poured on some more clear, just flooded the whole area, let it meet up with the other bit, and then using that white that I had scraped off, I went back in just with a very small amount, just like I'd done at the bottom, and I just did a little bit, and then I used my heat gun to blow it, and then I did a little bit on the other side, and I used my heat gun to blow it, and I left it alone because it was right as it was. A little bit goes a long, long way. But I love the finished effect, so it was all worth it. Hey guys, we are back. Here is our finished piece. And as you saw, I did go a bit heavy-handed with the waves. It's been a while since I've done waves, so I had to remind myself to use less of the white. But it's all good. Should we take it out and have a look? Now, this is the first time I've used this mould. I'm so excited. And I went for greener blues because once I decided, hey, Turtle Cove, that said to me sort of greener waters rather than just blue. So that is what we went for. Overspill that. Here we go. Right, now I am absolutely loving that. That is so, so pretty. There's a few little bits there that have gone over the edge, and that's okay. A few little sandy bits that may need a bit of just a little bit of a sand. Removing over spilly bits. Now I've got a little bit of sticky up seaweed, coral, or whatever you want to call it there. This one is, but it's over the edge, so that's gone. And this one's nicely tucked in. So yeah, just got a little piece of sticky up here, but that's okay. And a little piece of sticky up here, so they may need a little bit of a sanding, but other than that, it is beautiful. Now, there are some bubbles here, and the main reason there are some bubbles is the temperature. I don't understand how, because it's a bank holiday weekend that I filmed this on, but it was so hot, so hot. It was 29 degrees. So there are a few bubbles in the back here, which if I hold it up against the light, you can see. But if I don't, you can't really tell. It just looks like bubbles under the water. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Although now I want to do it the other way around and put the sand in the middle and have like a little island in the middle and then have the water coming out. I think that's going to be my next plan. I love it. Now, of course, you could use this serving platter if you've got cupcakes or things like that in wrappers. Obviously, again, it's resin. You don't want to cut food on it. You can't put a cake on this that you then cut into, because if you touch the resin, you know, it's not food safe. But you can put things like cupcakes on it. You could put a wrapped cheese. You could put, you know, things like that on it. Alternatively, it is beautiful. If I sort of measure it by hand, so you can see the size of my hands, and also if we do a quick measurement, so it is about 11.5 inches or 32 centimetres by 10.5 inches or 27 centimetres. So it's a nice size to hang up on your wall, to do anything with, really. I just love it. And I love the shape. And I think a hook here, it would just hang beautifully on the wall. It's not very thick, about 1/2 inch thick. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now the green colour has ended up mostly over the sand rather than in the water itself. I think I did too much blue and not enough green. The sort of ratios were a little bit off, but I still love it. Obviously you could have a go at making this look quite realistic, but I quite like it as the sandy. And I'm going to do it the other way around. So I think we'll have the sand in the middle and then the water spread out. But yeah. What do you think? What would you use it for? Is there any other designs I could do within the turtle you think that would look good? I adore this. So yeah. That's all for today. And yeah, thank you very much for spending time with me today, guys. Keep crafting and I'll see you all soon. Bye.